Insurance Law, Unit 5. So the Unit 5 is all about the Marine Insurance Act 1963. So we'll discuss all of the concepts in syllabus one by one. Definition of marine insurance. Section 3. So the marine insurance under Section 3 of the Marine Insurance Act is defined as an agreement which the insurer undertakes to indemnify the insured against marine losses. So it is an agreement where the insurer undertakes to indemnify the insured against marine losses only. Case Lloyd vs. Fleming. A contract of indemnity against all losses occurring due to subject matter from certain perils during marine adventure. So an insurance that covers perils of a marine adventure. The subject matter in a marine insurance is marine losses, or the perils or the dangers that is caused by sea are subject matter in marine insurance. Scope of marine insurance. It is a contract of indemnity. Then Section 4 of the Marine Insurance Act says that it is applicable to both sea and land risks. So marine insurance is not just applicable when the ship is in the sea, even when the ship is on the land, that is when the ship is in a seaport, then it is also covered under marine insurance. Section 5 of the Marine Insurance says that every lawful marine adventure is subject matter. So the subject matter should be lawful. Then the marine adventure must be lawful. So the adventure itself must be lawful. Then it should be related to property in relation to maritime perils. So the property must be getting destroyed by sea perils or maritime perils. Kinds of marine insurance policy. So what are the kinds of a marine insurance policy? Section 27 Clause 1 of the Marine Insurance Act defines the first type, which is voyage policy. So what is a voyage policy? It is an at and from policy. So the subject matter in the voyage policy is a voyage. Voyage is nothing but when the ship departs from a port and the distance it covers before reaching the another its destination, it is called a voyage. It is at and from policy. For example, Mumbai to London is one voyage of a ship. Then while arriving back from London to Mumbai, it is another different voyage. So a voyage is just a one-way journey. It is usually used in cargo insurance. The next is time policies. The next kind of marine insurance policy is time policies. Insured on subject matter for definite period of time. So here the subject matter is insured for a definite period of time. Instead of a voyage from one destination to another destination, the subject matter is insured for over a period of time. The time of insurance is specified in this type of insurance. It is valid only if less than 1 year. So the time of the insurance in this is only 1 year, not more than that. Used in hull insurance. The next kind is voyage time policy or mixed policy. So this kind of policy is a mixture of both voyage and time policy. So here insurance is done on voyage, and after the voyage is completed, a time is specified to continue the insurance. For example, 24 hours after voyage. So the ship is insured until entire voyage, and after the voyage is completed, when it reaches the destination, 24 hours it will be insured. So this is mixed policy. The next is under section 29 valued policy. So policy may be valued or unvalued. Valued policy specified agreed value of subject matter insured. So in this, value of a policy is determined. That is, the insurer will define that how much value he is willing to pay for the losses. The value, the amount here is specified for the subject matter insured. The valuation must be done bona fide. In the case Thomas Mercy Insurance Co. vs. Gunford, it was held that excess valuation must be fraudulent to make it wagering. So here the insured can make excess valuation, but the excess valuation should not be fraudulent. If not fraudulent, value decided between parties is conclusive. So if the value of insurance is decided between a party and it is even if it is excessive but not fraudulent, then it will be valid on both of them. The next is insurable value. Policy specifies a method to calculate value. So in this type of policy, marine insurance policy, the policy itself specifies on how to calculate the value. So section 18 provides that method. Value includes salaries, stores, machineries or anything that makes a ship fit for a voyage. So the value of the ship which makes it fit for voyage is the value of the policy. For freight, value of freight. And for goods and merchandise, property insured and shipping cost is the value of the insurance. So if the ship is carrying certain goods, then the amount of the goods is the value of the insurance. And if the goods get damaged, then the insurer will be liable to pay that much amount to insured of the value of goods. The next is unvalued policy. In this, value is left to be determined after loss. So here value is not calculated, but after when the loss occurs, they calculate the value of entire damaged property and they will determine a value and insurer will pay that value to insured after loss occurs. This kind of policy is uncommon as difficult to calculate. So it is very difficult to calculate once the losses occurred. So this kind of policy is not followed. Floating policies. So what is floating policies? Under section 31. General terms of insurance is specified, but the name of ship or ships is left to be declared later. So the insurance terms and conditions are specified, but on which ship it is to be applied, it is not specified. It is on insured discretion to assign any ship at any time he wants to the insurance. So in this, a large sum is taken by insurer. As the ships are declared, the sum is exhausted and the policy is closed. So the insured pays a large sum to insurer to insure many ships, but he does not specify any ship names. And when he goes on assigning ships to the insurance money will get exhausted. Case Union Insurance Society of Canton versus Wills and Co. In this case, it was held that the ship was declared after loss, held invalid, becomes unvalued policy. So in this case of a floating policy, so the general insurance was made, but he did not assign any ship, he did not declare any ship. After the ship suffered loss, he assigned this ship to the insurance policy. So it was held as invalid. So it is held that the ship should be assigned before loss itself. Only then floating policy will be valid. Voyage. The next important concept is voyage. So what is the meaning of voyage? It is the distance between vessel's departure and final place of arrival. So it is the distance of the ship from when it departs to the port until it arrives to its final destination. The distance it covers is called voyage. Section 47. Change of voyage. So what is a change of voyage? After commencement of risk, destination of ship is voluntarily changed from that of a policy. So the risk of insurer has started, the ship is on voyage, it is sailing, but the destination of a voyage is changed. If the destination of ship was suppose A, but the ship changes its destination to B, then the policy will be void and the insurer will be free from his liability. Insurer is discharged from his liability if a change of voyage. The next is section 48. Deviation. So what is a deviation? A ship without lawful excuse deviates from voyage as in policy. Insurer is discharged. Immaterial if regains route before loss. So the ship without lawful excuse deviates from its path. Here the destination is same from A to B. If it is going, the destination will be same A to B, but it deviates from its path, it takes a different route. So this is deviation. And if the deviation is done without any lawful excuse, the insurer is discharged from his liability. Deviation from policy. The course is mentioned in the policy. So the policy itself specifies the course on which the ship has to follow, take the route, but it departs from that route. Then the insurer will be discharged from his liability. Next, course is not mentioned in the policy. So the insurance policy does not specify any course or route which the ship has to take, but from customary route departed. But there is a customary practice that the ship has to follow this route itself to go from A to B. And from that customary route the ship deviates. Then the insurer is discharged from his liability. The next is intention to deviation is immaterial. So if the ship deviates, whatever its intention may be, it is immaterial, it is deviation, and the insurer will be freed from his liability. Case law. Middlewood versus Blakes. In this case, the ship was to be departed from L and to be arrived at a destination J, but it deviates to a smaller island D during its course. So during its deviation, the ship was captured en route. So they applied for policy, but it was held that the ship was deviated and the insurer was discharged from his liability. Section 50 says about delay in voyage. So there should not be any delay in voyage also. For example, there is a specified time that the ship has to depart from a port, but it unnecessarily delays its voyage. Then this is also in a part like of deviation, and the insurer will be discharged from his liability. Section 51. Excuse for deviation or delay. So what are the lawful excuses a ship can take for deviation or delay? Authorized by special term in policy. So if the policy itself authorizes to take deviation, then the ship can take deviation. Circumstances beyond control of master and his employer. So certain circumstances occur which is beyond the control of a master and his employer to maintain route, and they deviate because of that, then that is also lawful deviation. The next is reasonably necessary to comply with express or implied warranty. So if there is a warranty, certain implied or express warranty or condition to be followed for insurance, and for to follow that, if they deviate from the path, then that it is also lawful. The next is safety of ship or subject matter insured. So for the safety of the ship or to protect the subject matter, if they deviate, then it is also lawful. Saving human life or ship in danger. So if they see a human life in danger or a ship in danger, then they can deviate from their path. To obtain a medical surgical aid to person on board ship. So someone needs a medical or surgical aid in the ship, and because of that they deviate from their path, then it is also lawful. Barratrous conduct of a master or crew. Barratry peril insured. So barratry is nothing but a fraudulent breach of duty by crew members. So if a barratrous conduct happens, then the ship deviation is lawful. The case is Scaramanga versus Stamp. So in this case it was held that deviation to save life and medical is permissible, but to save property not permissible, no matter how much the value of the property. So to save property you cannot deviate from the path. Even though that property is very high value, deviation is not permissible. The next important concept is losses. So what do you mean by losses? They are damage or detriment as well as actual loss of property in marine adventure. So it is a damage to property in marine adventure. Section 55 of the marine insurance specifies about included and excluded losses. So what are the losses that are included and what are the losses that are excluded in a marine insurance? First, liable only for loss proximately caused by peril insured against. So the insurer is liable only for those losses which are proximately caused by the perils which the insured has taken insurance against. For if the damage is caused by other peril, then the insurer is not liable. The insurer is not liable for willful misconduct of the insured. So if something happens due to the damages occurs due to the willful misconduct of insured, then the insurer is not liable. But the peril insured was caused due to willful misconduct of insured, then insurer is liable. But the peril against which the subject matter is insured, and that peril is caused by willful misconduct of the insured, and that peril in turn damages the subject matter, then the insurer is liable. Not liable for delay. So the insurer is not liable if the ship gets delayed from departing in its voyage. Not liable for ordinary wear and tear, ordinary leakage and breakage, inherent vice or nature of subject matter. So the insurer is not liable if the subject matter against which the insurance is taken gets ordinary wear and tear, or ordinary leakage and breakage, which is common, or inherent vice or nature of subject matter. Inherent vice means the decaying products, like for example food products. If you leave it, it will automatically decay. So it is called inherent vice, and insurer is not liable for inherent vice of subject matter. Case here is Canada Rice Mills Limited versus Union Marine and General Insurance Co. Limited. In this case, cargo of rice was damaged due to overheat, as a ventilator of ship was closed due to bad weather. So the ship was carrying a cargo of rice, and they had to close the ventilator of the storage because of bad weather, and due to closing of the ventilator due to overheat, the rice got damaged. They claimed for damage. It was held that the damage was caused approximately by peril of the sea. So they were given insurance. Kinds of losses. So what are the kinds of losses? First, we have total loss. Total loss means subject matter is fully destroyed. When the subject matter against which the insurance is taken gets fully destroyed, then it is a total loss. There are again two types of total loss. One is the actual loss. In actual loss, the subject matter ceases to be exist in a kind insured. So in the shape in which the insurance was taken, it ceases to be exist in that shape. It deforms, then it is actual loss. The next is a constructive loss under section 60. Abandoned due to fully destroyed. The subject matter is fully destroyed, and because of that they don't carry in that ship. They abandon it and sail. Then this is also total loss. It is called constructive loss. Next is the partial losses. So what are partial losses? In partial loss, subject matter is not fully destroyed. So the subject matter is only partially destroyed. So what are the kinds in it? One is a particular average loss under section 64. Accidental partial loss due to peril insured. So if there is any accidental partial loss due to the peril insured, then it is a particular average loss. It is accidental and the loss caused is partial. The next is a general average loss under section 66. So under general average expenditure or sacrifice done willfully during peril to preserve property. So it is willful. Willfully they sacrifice a certain part of the subject matter to preserve the remaining property or to preserve the ship. Then it is called a general average loss. The next is the salvage charges. So salvage charges incurred in preventing a loss. So if the subject matter is subject to certain loss, so to prevent the loss they do something which causes them charges. So it is called charges, salvage charges.